guys, my name is Madison and I'm just going to show you a little bit about my family genogram. So the first question is, what significant trends do you see across your genogram? So this is going to be my little pointer. So some significant trends that you can see across the genogram is that almost every marriage that has happened, this is a great-grandparent so it doesn't really count, but every marriage that is in the family is in love. And so you can see that just right there, and then right there is another one. Also, another significant trend that I notice is that every family has gotten closer in relationship over time. So as you can see, this relationship is friendship or close. This one is actually, there's some distant relationships in this family, my father's mother's family. But then throughout time, they've gotten closer. As you can see, my mother is very close with some of her siblings. And then this is my family right here with their children down here. And I personally believe that another reason why my family are very close and best friends is because of technology over time and through social media and all different ways of communication, texting. We've been able to stay closer throughout time, whereas my grandparents, who have lived in all different places, have not been able to stay as close throughout time. So the next question is, what surprised me? So something that I found really interesting was that almost every woman on here who is a mother is a stay-at-home mom and just a mother. They don't have any other job, except for I have an aunt who isn't married and doesn't have any children, and she's an office assistant. But every single woman on here is a mother, and that has actually passed down to my generation as well. I'm a student, but I'm also a stay-at-home mom. So that's like one thing that really surprised me. The next question, what family dynamic or interpersonal issues did you see? So throughout my family, you can see that most of the issues with family, see right here, are a parent-child. So there's an emotional relationship that has discord and conflict, and that is my aunt with her father. And then this is my grandmother with her father, and throughout time, my grandfather has, his personality has gotten better, but when they were younger, they really struggled to have a good relationship. And my great-grandfather actually left his wife, and that is why we have a cutoff, but it's also been repaired over time. But my grandmother really had a hard time with her father when she was growing up. And then there's one more emotional relationship with jealousy that goes on with it in my mother's family, within a few of her siblings, her and her sisters. So that is another thing. Another family dynamic or interpersonal issue that we saw is that basically there isn't a ton of conflict within families, but there are a few illnesses that have gone on. So that there's that, and we'll also talk about that within intergenerational transmission. So there's the intergenerational transmission that I want to talk about is that there has been some physical illness that has been passed on from my grandmother to her daughter, and there's also some depression that you can see in some of my mom's sisters. But the interesting thing is that we have not detected it within her sister's mother or father or the great-grandparents. So you can always wonder if it wasn't diagnosed at the time, since it was a long time ago that they were born, or if there's any other reasons why they wouldn't have depression. But it has shown up in 3 of her sisters, so I thought that was a really interesting transmission that has happened in her family. One of the last things that I learned from this family is that my family has a lot of good relationships going on. There's not a ton of conflict besides the parent-child conflict that has happened in my family. But besides that, there's not a ton of illnesses, just a lot of old age illnesses have happened. Also, there's some cancer that has gone on in my families, but so far no one else has had that same cancer. As you can see, my grandmother, it hasn't shown up yet, but my grandmother had breast cancer and my grandfather had testicular cancer, and so far those have not passed on. So that's my family, and I hope you enjoy learning about my genogram. Thanks!